All right, today we're doing a deep dive into something pretty fascinating. It's about why that final mile of professional video distribution can cost more than the entire engine driving it.
Exactly. We're looking at the high-end Pro AV world, specifically a key piece of 4K scaling hardware from tvONE.
We're going past the big switchers and focusing on that final critical step.
Right. The best analogy I can think of is it's like a high-definition lens for a projector. The main system, the chassis, does all the heavy lifting, all the processing.
The switching.
The switching, yeah. But this one component, this little module, makes sure the output is perfectly focused and scaled for that big 4K display. It's the assurance step.
And we should mention the gear we're looking at today comes through HDTV Supply. They've been around for, what, 25 years?
A long time. And they deal with mission-critical systems.
Yeah, we're talking modular matrix switchers, AV over IP solutions, the kind of stuff running flight boards at airports or, government command centers.
So this isn't consumer tech.
Yeah.
Not by a long shot.
Okay, so let's get to the star of the show here. The component itself is the tvONE HDMI 4K-SC-1OUT-FF.
Which is a mouthful.
It is. But basically, it's an HDMI 4K UHD upscaling output module, a specialist part for a very specific job.
And where it lives is really important. It's designed to be installed inside the CorioView series multi-viewer chassis.
Right.
And the sources say it's typically installed at the factory. That tells you everything. This isn't like popping in more RAM.
Yeah.
It's more like it has to be calibrated to the main system from day one. It's a deeply integrated part.
And that deep integration comes with a truly professional price tag. Get this, it's $2,290.
For a single output card.
A single card. And when you see that price, a spec immediately jumps out at you. It handles 4K 3840 by 2160, but only at a 30 Hz refresh rate.
And it's HDMI 1.4 compliant.
So you have to ask, why does a top-tier component that costs so much feel almost constrained by what seems like an outdated refresh limit?
And that's the critical insight, isn't it? You're not paying for blazing speed. You're paying for guaranteed stability.
Ah, okay.
I mean, in the consumer world, we all want 60 hertz, 120 hertz for smooth gaming. But in a command center, you're looking at static data, maps, security feeds.
The content isn't changing 60 times a second.
Exactly. 30 hertz is more than enough. Sticking to HDMI 1.4 and 30 hertz is a deliberate choice. It maximizes signal integrity and stability over really long cable runs. It kills the chance of a flicker or a signal drop.
Which would be catastrophic in that kind of environment.
Absolutely. So that $2,290, that's the price of perfection. Guaranteed perfection.
So the value is in that function-locked reliability, but it's a module, so it doesn't work alone. What else do you need to build out a full system?
Well, that's where the modularity comes in. To get video into the chassis, you need the input module. The common one is the tvONE CV-HDMI-4K-2IN-FF.
And the price on that?
That one's about $755.
Yeah.
And think about that for a second. The component that just gets the signal in is significantly cheaper than the one that perfectly scales it on the way out.
That's where the real work is being done.
That's the magic, yeah. And there are other versions, like for the big Coriomatrix systems, that go for even more, like $2,380.
Okay, so once you have that perfectly scaled signal ready to go, you have to get it to the screen. And in these installations, the rack is never next to the display wall.
Precisely. And that's where the sources point to HD-based extender kits. These are required to send that uncompressed signal hundreds of feet over, basic copper network cable.
And those add to the cost.
Oh, yeah. They can range from about $300 to over $700 just for the extenders. It shows you how many layers there are to this kind of infrastructure.
So when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway here for pro video distribution?
The bottom line is that to get stable certified 4K in an environment where failure is not an option, it requires these incredibly specific, function-locked, and frankly, expensive parts just for the final scaling step. You're buying reliability, not speed.
So here's the thought I want to leave you with. When you add it all up, the $1,700 input cards, the $2,300 output card, another $700 for extenders, all for just a couple of channels, what kind of environment, what sort of absolutely critical operation would demand a video system built on that level of modularity and guaranteed stability? Think about that the next time you see a massive, flawless video wall running 24/7